The February Revolution was the first of the two great Russian revolutions of 1917. The catalyst was the Great War that shook the empire of Tsar Nicholas II, whose departure for the front to take command of the Russian army left his German wife Alexandra to administer the faltering Russian state. The Tsar's decision was fraught with consequence, as growing anti-German feeling, coupled with shocking rumors about Rasputin, the monk whose healing powers gave him unusual access to the royal palace, undermined confidence in the Romanovs. But even the brutal murder of the Siberian monk in December 1916 was unable to forestall Russia's descent into disorder and revolution. Poorly trained and inadequately armed, the Russian army was gutted and exhausted. With medical staff stretched out over a 500-mile front, few of Russia's injured soldiers had access to medical care, and now the troops were abandoning their units at a rate of 34,000 each month. In the capital city of Petrograd, the main drivers of popular discontent were shortages and rising prices, as the military's takeover of the railroads was preventing food from reaching the cities. As the machinery of government broke down, a sense of crisis overtook the empire. On the 18th of February 1917, workers at the enormous Putilov munitions factory in Petrograd announced a strike in protest against the government. On the 23rd, they were joined by demonstrators celebrating International Women's Day. In the coming days, some 250,000 protesters would take to the streets of Petrograd. They wanted an end to the food shortages. They wanted an end to the war. So fed up were Petrograd's striking workers that their political demands had become explicit. Nicholas II would have to go. Shocked by the turn of events, the Tsar, still at the front, responded with a display of force, using his Cossacks to attack the crowds. But when the soldiers of the Petrograd garrison went over to the side of the protesters, Nicholas's days as ruler of Russia were numbered. With his own advisors now urging him to abdicate the throne, on March 2, 1917, Nicholas II surrendered to the inevitable. The 300-year-old Romanov dynasty was over. 18 months later, the entire royal family would be murdered by the Bolsheviks. For the time being, the February Revolution vested power in a provisional government that represented the liberal values of the bourgeoisie, including the people's right to free expression and public assembly. To its many admirers, the February Revolution heralded the beginning of what promised to be a liberal and democratic Russian state. Everywhere there were meetings and clubs and demonstrations. In the larger cities, councils appeared that represented Russia's radicalized workers and soldiers. Known as Soviets, these democratic bodies provided Russia's socialists with places to meet and organize. It was in the largest of these councils, the Petrograd Soviet, that the Bolshevik Party led by Vladimir Lenin would begin to develop its own base of power, where it promised peace to Russia's weary soldiers, land to its impoverished peasants, and bread to its hungry workers. These goals, Lenin now proclaimed, would necessitate a second revolution, one that would seize power in the name of the working class and spread its values all over the world. It was not long before the February Revolution's dream of liberal democracy would turn into the nightmare of a Bolshevik dictatorship and civil war.